Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Determined Gardener. You are looking at my Limelight hydrangea, and this is going to be a video about very sun-loving plants like hydrangeas. Now, some of you unfortunately are dealing with scorching temperatures, and I feel for you guys because here in the Northeast, we are also dealing with this type of temperatures. It's going to be 95 and above for the next 3 days. So we are actually dealing with a heat wave, but I wanted to make a video on what type of plants love this type of temperature, and you're looking at it right now. Limelight hydrangeas. Anything in the hydrangea family loves this type of weather, and you can see right now it is thriving. It is a kind of shady area, but it's still getting lots of sun, and you can see the blooms have already blossomed. Probably a lot of you guys have already your hydrangeas have already blossomed, and that is really great. So take a big look at what this hydrangea looks like. This is another one right here, another hydrangea. Now this hydrangea gets between 6 to 8 feet tall, so this is the larger variety of the hydrangeas, and you can just see they are loving it in this spot. And I have another one that is a little droopy. Now you can see its leaves. It's drought tolerant, but doesn't mean that it doesn't need water. So when the leaves start to droop like that, that's all you need to do is give it some water and it will pop up. Right now it is in the middle of the day, so it is the hottest part of the day. So you can see these leaves really aren't doing that well, but I will be giving this hydrangea a well-deserved drink. And you can see it's on one stem. It is a tree-like hydrangea. I've gotten this hydrangea, I've had it for about maybe 3 years now. And this is another variety of hydrangeas. This is strawberry vanilla, and this pinnacle, this is a little different from these. You can see the fluorescence, and this is more cone shape, where this is more dome shape. And this is another heat tolerant plant. Again, its leaves are a little droopy, but I will be giving it some water, and once I give it some water, it will look brand new. So if you have these types of hydrangeas, you want to plant them in your garden because they really do well in the sun. They do take full sun, and it's recommended that they are in full sun for about 6 to 8 hours. If you have them in an area where they're not getting sun, they won't be producing these beautiful lime green blossoms and cream blossoms like you see here. So you really want to keep these hydrangeas in an area where you're getting full sun for most of the day, and it's here in my backyard. So another variety that really likes full sun is Akastachi. You can see this one in my garden, and it produces these purple florets, which are beautiful. And when it's windy, it just sways in the wind, and it just gives it this beautiful free-flowing movement. So this is another drought tolerant plant. It does get between 2 feet to about 4 feet tall. Right now this one is 3 feet. And gladiolas are another one that really likes sun. And you can see this one is a pink variety. Once the blooms are spent, what I do is just remove them. So you don't need to keep the spent blooms on. And that will encourage more blooms to grow. You can see the back one right here. These blooms are ready, and I would say in about 2 weeks, these blooms will be ready to blossom. So that's another heat tolerant plant. Now again, I water these plants when it gets really, really hot like this. I give them water at least twice a day. But there are some plants that really don't like the heat at all, and they will fry. And here is my other gladiola. This one was actually red, and now it's orange. So I think there may be something going on in the soil, but I'm not hating it at all. This one's a light pink, which is very, very pretty. But again, the splint blooms, you just want to snap them off and they come off really easily. Now hostas, they are very good drought tolerant plants, but you don't want to keep them in too much sunlight, because when you do that, their leaves will start to scorch and they'll leave really dry patches. This one doesn't have it, but if you come to this one where it's more in full sun, you can see exactly what I'm talking about right here. You see? Very crusty. So you want to keep them more in a shaded area where you're getting partial sun between 3 to 5 hours instead of full sun, which is 8 hours. And this one, you can see right here the damage. It's already it's already crusty, and that's because it's more in full sun, where that one over here is in more of a shaded area, and you can see this one is doing so much better than the one that I just showed you. Super Vista bubblegum petunias, another variety of plants and shrubs that love the sun, that are heat and drought tolerant. I don't water too much because they actually don't like to have wet legs. They don't like to have wet roots. They like to be slightly damp, not wet. So I just keep them slightly damp. What I do when I do water twice a day, I don't give this one as much water. The drip line is further back from here, so I will water twice a day, but this one won't get as much water. And make sure that you don't water above. Make sure you go all the way down and water at the roots. This one is getting a little leggy, but I will be giving it a haircut. But you can see it has a nice mound spread. This is 3 small Vista bubblegums. They started out in like really pint-sized pots, and you can see how much they have spread. And the one right here, I have the Twist and Shout. That's still a baby. I probably will move that because it's not doing well in the sun. That is more of a cooler type of hydrangea, and I don't think it likes this sun beating down on it. But you can see how well the petunias are really doing. Petunias, they're great plants to have. They spread really easily. And I feed these petunias, and when I say feed, I give them fertilizer at least once a week. And another one right here, another sun-loving plant, cone flowers. This one is about 2 feet tall. You can just see the mound and just how much I have. This started out really, really small, and I moved it right here into the sun, and it has grown for the last 2 seasons, giving me that vibrant orange color that just keeps giving back. You can see it from afar. And where does your eyes go? Oh, I don't know. Maybe to the pink, maybe to the orange. I just love this combination because you don't know where your eyes want to land, because they're just so much bright colors. But again, really nice drought tolerant plant, loves full sun, so you want to keep it in a full sun area. And again, my standard hydrangea, I've had this for about 2 years now, and this is also in full sun. And you can see it is really liking where it is. So again, another plant that likes full sun is this midnight, forgot the name, Holy Grail Midnight, Summerific Holy Grail, right? This hasn't bloomed yet. This is also in full sun. It has dark leaves, and then when these finally bloom, they will give me this bright red flower. But be careful with these, because it will tell you when it is thirsty. And I'll give you an example, because I'll give you an example right now. I'll show you. Now this is the same hibiscus that I showed you up in my front yard, and this is in my backyard, and this area gets more sun. This area gets about 8 hours of sun, as opposed to the area that gets between 5 to 6 hours of sun in my front yard. And you can see droopy leaves. So it will tell you when it droops like this, it will tell you I need some water. So I just recently watered this baby. So again, hibiscus can take full sun. They can take more than 6 hours. But when it's night, it's scorching hot. You want to kind of move them in an area where they will cool down. So I will be moving these hibiscus to an area where it's more shaded. The one in my front yard is it gets shaded by a home that's in front, so it gets a little bit more shade than this one. This one is in completely full sun. And this variety I have is Summer Storm. It's nice pink, light pink and red in the middle. And this one is another one of the Holy Grail. So all together I have 4 hibiscus. So guys, what I was saying, hydrangeas do love full sun, but there's a difference. If you have the mop head variety, if you keep them in full sun, some of them will start to fade because they really don't like to be in full sun. It's only the cone shaped ones that I showed you before, the lime ones, light green ones. Those are the ones that really like shade. These ones that are mop head varieties, you should really keep them in a semi-sunny area. And I made the mistake to keep this in full sun, and you can see that it is fading. So I just recently moved this to a shaded area 2 days ago, so I'm hoping that it bounced back. Endless Summer is another variety that a lot of the big box stores sell, and you can see it is starting. This was green, and now it's turning into a pink, and you can see that it is kind of struggling here. So again, this is in full sun, and I think I will be moving it towards maybe in the back where it's not feeling the sun so much. But look at the difference between this, the mop head variety, and this one that is just standing up. So these ones are the ones, if you really want less maintenance and less work, these ones, the limelight, the pinnacle ones, the ones that are cone shaped, these are the ones that you want to get because they're just so much easier to deal with than this one. This is the mop head variety, and they are very finicky. Some of them do like full sun, which is more than 6 hours, and others can't tolerate more than 4 hours. The best thing to do is, if you get these mop head varieties, is you keep them in a semi-shaded area, maybe under like a tree that doesn't have too much leaves. They typically like anywhere between morning sun and afternoon sun. Morning and afternoon, right? So or maybe morning and afternoon shade. They don't like to be in full sun. So I will be moving them out as quickly as I can. Butterfly bushes is another one that is drought tolerant. When it gets to this part of the stage, you want to just get some scissors and cut it off so it can actually encourage the plant to put more of these beautiful florets in them. You can leave it like that, but I just don't, because I want to encourage the plant to bloom as much as it can. And here is another variety that does like full sun, Black-Eyed Susans. You can see they are also doing well. And some more of my coneflowers. I want to show you the good and also the bad. Take a look at this. Oh my God. These are, okay, so this is an example of what you don't want to do. This is in full sun, but the thing is, this is not, the full sun is not the issue. It's the snails. The snails are eating this alive. So I either have to move this someplace else where the snails are not going to get to it, which I don't know where it would be, or I'm just going to have to put more snail bait. If anybody in the comment section knows what to do about this, I would really appreciate it. Yes, this is very dry, and I think I'm just going to have to move this because there's two problems here: not enough water and the snails. So this was a black pearl heuchera, and usually black pearl heucheras, the dark color ones, can stand full sun. It's the ones that are light that can't. So there's a two-pronged problem here that I have to address immediately because I do want to save this plant. You can see the difference from this heuchera to that one that is like mangy and almost on its deathbed. And this one ain't looking too hot either, but I really do have to address this. In the sun, this gets even darker. So heucheras do like partial sun, partial shade and sun. They don't like full sun, but this variety, the darker varieties, can take full sun as long as you keep them semi-hydrated, and they don't like a lot of water. So I'm putting them in the drought tolerant plant, but just be careful if you do have them in a very sunny area, because if you have them in the light variety, their leaves will start to fry. And this is just a prime example of, again, my hydrangea. I don't water this hydrangea that much. I actually water this hydrangea the least out of all my plants because it's near the gate and I usually don't get to that area. But you can see how full it is. I water this hydrangea, I would say, in a week, maybe 4 times a week out of 7 days. And it's still thriving, and you can see it's still going very, very strong. So these are really good plants to have. They're beautiful. They're easy to take care of. They're not as fussy as the mophead variety. And you can see it's starting to change color. So it starts lime green, and it turns into like a whitish cream, and then it will turn into like a pinkish hue or red, and it's absolutely beautiful. And last but not least of my sun-loving, drought-tolerant plants are yarrow. This is a succulent, and this one will really, really go far when it comes to very hot, humid weather that does not have a lot of water, almost desert-like. You don't really have to water this variety as much. This starts out as very lime green, and then in the cooler months, it turns, you can see it's already turning this light pink or reddish hue. So yarrow is a great plant to have if you really want less maintenance, less trouble, don't have to water that much. And if you're really hot climate, it does need water. When I say not water too much, I mean you don't have to baby it like literally every day. You can skip a water day and it'll be okay. It won't die on you. So yarrow. So guys, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel, The Determined Gardener. You can see my hydrangea here, tuxedo hydrangea. It is in full sun. This is one of the mophead varieties. And my daylilies right here. This is absolutely gorgeous. Daylilies are another one, sun loving plant, but you do have to water them because they tend to get really dry if you skip a day of watering. Again, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and of course share it with any garden lovers or family or friends that like gardening or just beginning gardening. Again, what I would recommend: 3 plants: pinnacle, hydrangeas, yarrow, and I would, yeah, those 3, and yarrow, pinnacle, and I would say and maybe a butterfly bush, right? Those are the 3 ones that will really do well when it comes to easy breezy sun-loving, drought-tolerant plant. Again, thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to Determined Gardener. Happy gardening, everyone. Bye-bye.